Hey everyone, welcome to my 31, 32, and 33 week pregnancy update. I'm going to try and go through this really quickly. I know I've been terrible with pregnancy updates. I only have a tiny amount of time left on my phone to be able to film because I have other footage I need to take off. So hopefully I can do it in this amount of time. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and go right into what has been going on. So basically, for the past few weeks, I have just been getting more and more aches and pains. My lower back hurts really bad almost all the time. It seems to be worse on my left lower side usually than anywhere else, but just as me and Cooper have gotten bigger, my back has just hurt more and more, and it just spreads, and I'll have the sciatic nerve pain off and on where, it shoots down through my butt and my leg, and that is not any fun. And then just lots of other aches and pains, like random leg cramps. I'll get leg cramps like in really weird places, like way up high in my leg, way down low, like just really random pains that are just not any fun to deal with. And then Cooper's movements have been painful a lot of the time just because he's so big in there now and there's not much space that he's like rolling his elbows and stuff. Like I've said, he continues to love to roll his elbows across my stomach and it really hurts. And I can feel my stomach stretch when he does that. And so it's not the best feeling. I mean, I love feeling him move and I wouldn't trade it for anything to know, that he's doing good in there. But it gets painful. And I had one doctor's appointment in these past 3 weeks, and when she was measuring me and stuff, she said that she was estimating him at 4 pounds, but I'm skeptical as to that being accurate because then when I went home and I looked on my pregnancy app for the week that I was at, it said that the average was 5 pounds, and he feels so big to me. Like, I just can't imagine him being a pound lower in average. I mean, she wasn't saying that like she thought he was small or anything. She said she thinks he's measuring perfect and everything, and she was estimating 4 pounds, but I'm a little skeptical about that because, like I said, he feels like my biggest baby yet. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he is at birth. I've been having Braxton Hicks contractions. This is something I could have mentioned in my last update, but I totally forgot about. Just random Braxton Hicks contractions all throughout the day. Never really know when they're going to happen. It just randomly, a lot of them come with no pain, but I have also had some that hurt. There was one night in particular where they woke me up out of my sleep and I was really concerned. I was praying I was not going to go into labor. So yeah, Braxton Hicks contractions have just been happening randomly. Like I said, I had one night where it kind of scared me because they were hurting. It wasn't as intense of a pain as being in labor because I know what being in labor feels like. I've been in labor with both of my boys. But it was a little scary. My fingers and toes are starting to swell. When I was pregnant with Colton, my whole foot would swell, but I was pregnant with him like in the summertime, which I guess it's been summertime now too, but I was the biggest in summertime with Colton, so I think that kind of had something to do with it just because of the heat and everything. But with Hudson, I had my toes swell a couple times. I don't know that I had to take my rings off. I may not have taken my rings off at all with Hudson. But with this pregnancy, my fingers have started to swell, and I took my rings off yesterday, or a couple days ago when I was making hamburgers. I was like mixing seasonings into some hamburger meat, and I took it off so that I wouldn't get all the raw, disgusting meat in my ring, and they were really hard to get off, and so I haven't put them back on. My body temperature has kind of been more hot than normal, so I don't want to get them stuck. So my rings are off as of now, which I hate. My hand feels so naked. Like I'll constantly just randomly think like, oh, my finger feels naked. Like I wish I could have my rings on right now, but like I said, I don't want to risk it and get them stuck. And then like I said, with my last pregnancy with Hudson and with this pregnancy, my toes have swelled. I don't know why, like just my toes and not my whole foot. But not anything crazy either. Not anything that I'm concerned about. It's not really anything that I think anybody else would notice, but I can tell a difference just because of how they feel. And I can also see a difference, but they're not like, it hasn't been crazy swelling or anything like that. And it really just happens when I'm on my feet for too long or in the heat, or, you know, my body temperature's up that day or something like that. And for weight gain, I hate to talk about this. It's not any fun. I'm up 30 pounds with this pregnancy so far, which I didn't want to go over 30 pounds. But I mean, it's okay. I'm happier with this than I was with my weight gain with Colton. With Colton, I gained like between 50 and 55 pounds. And then with Hudson, I think I only gained 28 pounds, but I was also 7 pounds heavier when I got pregnant with Hudson than I was when I got pregnant with Cooper. So, you know, if I gain just a few more pounds, it'll even out to be about the same as what I was with Hudson, with Cooper. But we'll see. I don't know. With this pregnancy, at the beginning, no weight went on. Then in the middle, it kind of just like rose a little. And then towards the end, it has been when the weight has really been packing on. So that's definitely been different for me. To have more weight gain at the end. I don't like it. I keep hoping, like, please just slow down, because I don't want to stack much more pounds on. I would really not like to stack any more on, but we'll see how that goes. And then I have been exhausted. I know I've said this in multiple different pregnancy updates, but when I mention it, you know that I am really, really tired, because I mean, just the pregnancy and taking care of the boys and stuff has been tiring, and moving, and all of the changes that we've been through, like really, we have been through a lot of changes that I really haven't even talked in depth about. But when you move, there's so much that goes into moving, and so much stress, and so many different things that you have to do, especially when you're moving states. And it's a very interesting time for this all to be happening too, because I feel like it only makes me more emotional because I'm pregnant and because of all the stuff that we've gone through, because it's emotional and stressful anyways when you're moving, especially when you're moving to a new area and you're starting all over again. And especially for us, because we went from owning a home to having 2 cars, to selling one of those cars because we were moving so far away. So we're now down to 1 car. We were able to thankfully pay off all of Hudson's medical bills, and we had a little bit of a payment left on our Kia. So we were able to get rid of all of our debt, which was awesome. But in doing that, it kind of, like, we don't have extra money right now. Chris took a pay cut for his job, and it's just a lot of stuff to adjust to, you know, adjusting to a new budget, trying to figure out how to keep things going relatively similar to how I had them before, or, you know, change some things or whatever, in order to suit the new budget and everything. And now we're renting instead of owning a home, and we don't you know, we don't know when we'll be able to own a home again. We don't know how long we'll be here for. Chris's job is kind of uncertain, just because his boss is really old and wants to retire soon, and it's a really small company, so we don't know what'll happen in the next year or two. And anyways, I'm getting into off of the pregnancy subject, but it's been a lot. There's been a lot going on. And when we went back home to Pennsylvania for Labor Day, it was a really great trip. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, thank you.
That will be home in 3 seconds.
Not in 3 seconds, but in a little while. So when we went back home to visit my family in Pennsylvania, Chris's family also lives in Pennsylvania, but they're another 2 hours from where my parents are. And so we had told them, look, we're going to be in Pennsylvania for just a short period of time. We'd love to see you guys, but we're not going to be able to make that extra 2-hour drive. It just would be too much with the kids and me being so pregnant and everything. So if you'd like to see us, come see us at my parents' house or whatever, and we try and set something up. But they were busy and stuff, so we did not see them while we were on the trip. But it was a really great trip. It was really special to me because our time, though it was short, was able to be all focused on spending with my family, which I really appreciated. I felt kind of bad because it's not that I didn't want to see Chris's side of the family or anything, but when you get married, you have more family, and especially when you're living far away and you're only taking short little trips back, trying to see everybody and balance everything is so stressful. So it was just really nice to just be able to be at my parents' house and just spend time with them and my brother and sister-in-law and nephew, and just have a quiet, nice time with family. But through going to Pennsylvania and coming back to North Carolina, I realized just how much this does not feel like home to me at all. I was actually really taken back. I really thought that this trip to Pennsylvania would just be like rejuvenating for me, and I would just feel like, oh yeah, I'm excited to go back again, but oh, that just felt so good to go. But when we made it to North Carolina, and it's a long drive. We made really good timing on the way there. We drove 8.5 hours on the way there, and then on the way back, I think it was like 10.5, 11 hours. So it was nice to finally be at our destination, but that's about as far as it got for me. I was not happy to be back in North Carolina. I felt no joy coming back here. I felt no attachment. And that was really hard for me, to feel that and to come to that realization that this just really doesn't feel like home yet. And sitting back and thinking about it, we've only been here for a few months, so of course it's not going to feel like home, and we don't have family here, and it's new place, new everything. Like I said, there's lots of new adjustments and stuff. So it makes sense that it doesn't feel like home, but it doesn't make it any easier. And so when we got back, I had some really emotional days. I still have some really emotional days. Colton, what are you doing?
That will be like 1 7 and 8.
No. Okay, Colton, I'm almost done. Okay, can you finish watching your movie? Thank you. But so I just feel like, yeah, pregnancy plays a role in me being emotional, but I would have been emotional even not being pregnant, coming home to that, but especially being pregnant, having a baby so soon, so close to being here. He's gonna be here really, really soon. When somebody says, when are you due? All I say is next month. It's crazy. So, it's been hard. It's been a hard past few weeks, and I'm really missing my family, and I'm really missing just the Pennsylvania area. Just being back there just feels like home, and it's comfort for me. And so it was really hard to come back here and, be preparing for baby and not feeling like I'm at a place where I feel like I'm at home. It's hard. So the last thing that I have to mention, I just have a couple more little things. Acid reflux again has been playing a role, just that burning in the back of my throat, not any fun. And then I have had this obnoxious eye twitch that has been going on, and thankfully, just these past few days, I feel like it's finally going away. I don't even want to say anything because I feel like I'm just going to jinx myself. It's going to come right back. But for 2 to 3 weeks straight, my eye twitched constantly. It was just so annoying. I don't know if it has anything to do with pregnancy, but it was just the most constant eye twitch I've ever had in my life, and it was so frustrating. So anyways, that is everything for these past 3 weeks of pregnancy. I am 34.5 weeks pregnant right now. So crazy. This pregnancy is just flying by so fast. And I'm just going to go ahead and show my bump then, and this update will be over. So this is Cooper at 34.5 weeks.
Bagels and mulberry.
Yep.